Jim, how you doing today?
Doing well right now.
Well, we got you in a different spot here over by the window, and I think it cast a nice light on you. So we're starting out with that. And we're going to go all the way back. What would this be? It'd be 60 years ago right now, 1965. So you were the basically the head of the legal department for Marion
I
County.
was the head of Indianapolis Legal Department
All right.
in 1965 and 1966.
Okay. And let's explain kind of the backstory that led up to you getting connected to helping Eagle Creek. What was kind of the backstory that led up to that?
Well, I was a Democratic county chairman.
Right.
I became that because I had been more or less managing the run for the office of mayor by John Barton in 1963.
Okay.
And then in 1960, later, after he took office, he appointed me as head of the legal department of the city.
And then what was the transition to being involved with Eagle Creek? And what was the status of that area over there at that point?
I think it was owned by, at that time, Lily's. And the history of it was, part of this is just history that I was told.
Okay.
I wasn't a part of the history, but the federal government was making contributions to parks and wildlife and that sort of thing in the 50s and 60s. And it had received from the city of Indianapolis applications for money to buy the park. And it would, as I was told, it would approve those applications, but then fail to actually put up the money to buy the park. And it did that repeatedly. I don't know how many times, but I was told that it had been several times. And the reason was, at that time, the people that, and by that time I'm talking about prior to the administration of John Barton, which would have been prior to 1964, the city officials wouldn't take federal funds based on their philosophy about how government should operate.
All right.
One of the reasons I was both the county chairman and the head of the legal department at that time was I was associated with a bunch of young lawyers and others who didn't share that view. We wanted to get federal funds for anything we could within reason. And when we filed for application for money in either late 65 or early 66, not sure which. The federal government turned us down because they said that regulations prohibited them funding a project where the applicant had previously applied for but failed to perform, that is, failed to come up with the money and take the money. It was not come up with the money. And so I was trying to figure out a way we could get federal funding. And I just came up with a fairly simple idea. We had failed to take it like 6, 7 times. The money was there. Indianapolis turned it down after applying for it, turned it down. I assured them we would not turn it down again. I said, they said, well, you breached the contract. And I said, why don't we just look at it this way? We turned it down so often, and you, even though you should not have under the regs, you renewed the application process. I said, why don't you just treat what we've done in the past as an option that we fail to exercise, which is not a breach of contract. They thought about it. I went to Washington to talk to them about it. They bought it, and we got the money. And
How much?
I don't recall, it was several million, I believe.
Okay.
And maybe, I don't know.
But it was up there.
Well, it was more than I had available in my pocket. It was up there. And it was, so we acquired for the city the land on which the park now exists.
Did the footprint change from the beginning to where it's at now?
I don't recall that. May have, but I don't think so. I don't recall ever working on a change in the area.
So did you essentially have to put together the documents for the whole transaction?
I don't think so. I think they were, at least not, I did not handle the federal government documents. The federal government handled those. I may have handled the acquisition after we got the funds. I may have, but I'm not certain. I've practiced law for over 60 years. I bought a lot of real estate, and I can't remember.
Well, as far as obviously the park itself back then was all woods, right? There was no development at all on the land, or was there development or buildings on the land?
I don't recall actually going out to the property. I don't know.
Okay.
But it was a really major addition to the city, an amenity that a lot of people have enjoyed.
Millions and millions and millions.
Yeah.
over all the years. Do you remember as it first started to get developed, what they did first in the park? Do you remember seeing what they were doing to develop it or the plan of that?
No, I got fired. I had a disagreement with the mayor and the governor, and I got fired. So after getting that done, I got fired.
Do you want to talk about what the disagreement was about? Why you were on one side and they're on the other?
It's complicated, but basically politics. In 1963, as I said before, I worked for John Barton's election, and he got elected. And I managed the day-to-day operation of the campaign. Next year, I ran for county chairman and got elected, primarily due to the help of my friend Andy Jacobs and the governor, who was Matt Welch. But it was an election year. There was going to be a new governor. Back in those days, you could only run one term. Anyway, Roger Brannigan became the Democratic candidate in '64. And I was not a supporter of Roger Brannigan.
Okay. Got it.
Brannigan, that by itself didn't do anything, but it had consequences later on. And among the consequences was my later being fired from the city. So,
did you get any accolades or anything for putting it together? Like a plaque or anything for making Eagle Creek? No? For going and fighting for it?
As a matter of fact, I thought about that. There's a group of people who have been active in Indianapolis that I was in until I was unable to attend. And they raised that same issue one time. And I was too much at odds with the local Democratic power, much less the Republicans.
Right.
So in '63, I worked on and helped elect John Barton. I ran the office, as I said before. In '64, did the same thing for Andy Jacobs. But I also, after I got after he got nominated, he supported me for county chairman, and I got elected county chairman. And Matt Welch, as I said before, I repeat myself, Matt Welch supported me. Roger Brannigan got nominated that spring. was a big Democratic year in '64.
Right.
We elected everything that moved could be elected if it was. And by 1965, I was both Democratic County Chairman and head of the legal department.
And that's basically what made it.
Pardon?
That's what put you in the position to be able to
Yeah.
have influence on Eagle Creek.
Yeah. But on the way there, I did not support Roger Brownian for the nomination.
So because of that, he took you out of the equation.
Well, it wasn't right away, but in 1966, I was running for re-election as chairman. We failed to get a couple of the people that I had tried to get nominated. A couple of them failed. Roger Brownigan had been kind of, I think, waiting for an opportunity to get rid of me. And he decided that was the time.
That was the
in
way.
'66. And he persuaded the mayor that the mayor should be the county chairman. And he then persuaded the mayor to run for county chairman himself.
Hmm.
And he did. And John Martin was a decent man, and he was a intelligent man. I think it would be fair to say he wasn't very ambitious. I was. But apart from that, the state chairman called me one afternoon and told me that the governor had just persuaded the mayor to run against me for county chairman. The press went to City Hall, and one of the reporters asked the mayor, well, when he said, John said, I expect all my employees to support me. Well, I was head of his legal department at the time. And one of them asked if he's going to fire people that failed to do that, and he said yes. And I've always thought John forgot that I was his lawyer. Actually, I wasn't his lawyer, I was city lawyer, but he had the power to fire me. And so the headline in the paper, I think, was, Barton fires Beatty, something like that.
Got it.
Don't remember what.
Right.
And so I got relieved of my job as a lawyer for the city of Indianapolis.
How many years was it that you were the head
Just
of the
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, not even quite 2 years.
So when Eagle Creek basically became the park and people could start going in the park, I'm sure that there was some times then that you actually went to the park, right?
Yeah, later.
Did you ever have any kind of a personal ceremony of you like, I helped make this happen with your
No.
family or anything? Or?
No,
No.
no. That all, no.
We still got to feel good that
Pardon?
you still got to feel good you pushed that through to Washington, D.C. and made it happen.
Yeah.
Because there's been millions of people, even myself. Like, we used to go there when I was a kid and do cross-country skiing. Like, they'd rent the skis and everything,
Yeah.
but
No, and there was a period of time, it wasn't long, too long after that. You know, things move kind of slowly when federal funding is involved, and
sure.
it was a major acquisition. And I was gone from the operation, and by summer or fall of '67, which was
Couple years.
a couple of years later, but by then Dick Lugar
Yep.
had been elected mayor. He got the plaque.
Lugar got the credit.
Yeah. Well, he was entitled.
Sure.
I mean, it did get developed. It acquired while I was there, the land, but developed. I always thought of it as saved because
Do you happen to know when they built the dam? Or around when that
No.
was? Was that before that?
I believe it
The
was
dam was already there.
It was there.
It'd been there for however long.
Well, I don't know when the
Okay.
dam was built.
All right.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say about Eagle Creek before we close this section out?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, good job, by the way. That's great because I've enjoyed it. Millions and millions and millions of people have enjoyed it for
Yeah.
60 years.
I have
You
also.
got to be happy about that. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it'll always be there. It's the best thing. But thank you, Jim.